July 14th, 2020, 8:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Odds.com, we're back. We're here to cover UFC Fight Night 172. Guys, what is this? UFC Fight Island 1, UFC Fight Island 2? Like, what's the hashtag here?
I think it's Fight Island 1.
Yeah, it's 1, yeah.
Yeah, hit me weird, with the okey-doke. I've been doing the wrong hashtag all day, but is what it is. First things look a little different. Mr. Jimmy the Bag, he has to get ready to start covering all the other sports, plus them ponies. So, he doing his thing. We're here, still breaking it down on a Tuesday. Me, the boys, we decided we're going to add Guru to the squad and still bring you that Tuesday content. We're doubling down today, boys. First things first, let's welcome the new kid on the block. I don't know a new kid on the block song, or I'll sing it right now. We got the MMA prediction guru. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm excited to be on the Tuesday show now. I know you guys have seen me on the last couple of shows on Friday, so excited to keep coming on odds. It's always fun, and keep growing the channel, keep growing the MMA community on here, and make some money. So that's the plan for tomorrow for sure.
Nice, appreciate you rocking with us, Guru. Next up from the square up, if you look up from his square, which is over there for me, we got Mr. Fat Fist himself, Mr. Boston Nick, Mr. Reebok right now. What's up, brother?
Hey, Reebok's not going to be around for long, so I might as well wear it, right? And we got that new Venom contract coming on, but yeah.
Get your $2,500 from that Reebok deal.
Exactly. I'm going to send a note to Dana, but yeah, hooking and jabbing, sticking and moving, ready to make some money this weekend, and most of all, have some fun with the chat.
That's it, my man. Then you see below me down there, we got the star of the Diehard MMA Podcast. That's right, the man with the master plan, Mr. Clint. What's up, Clint?
What's going on, boys? Every Tuesday, man, I'm happy to be back. Missed you boys last week. My week didn't feel right without hanging out with you, so love to be here. Happy the chat's hanging out with us, and cannot wait to find a couple more spots to make some cash.
Boom. I like that. Speaking of chat, let's roll through this chat real quick. We got Mr. Bloodthirsty, Sean Sullivan, Mr. Pure Will, Goots, Albert Ross, John Jr., Mr. Danny. We got Michael. We have Dried Spicy. That's a pretty sweet name right there. Pocket, Mile High, Pittsburgh, Charlie, UFC Betting Experience, James, Mario, Zabel, Charlie Chips. That's a pretty sweet name.
Bob Lee Swagger.
Boom. Hey, let's see if we got anybody else. We want to make sure we hit every Mr. Martial Arts. Hey, they're rolling in. We're going to make sure we hit you before we leave. So let's get this rolling, guys. We ain't got all night. First fight on the card. We got Mr. Aaron Phillips versus Jack Shore. Yo, Boston Nick, you got some odds on this for me, bro?
Yes, sir, I do. Right now we got the comeback on Aaron Phillips at plus 530, and then we got the minus 670. Best case scenario with Mr. Jack Shore.
Ooh, all righty. Guru, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
Yeah, I put out a tweet a little bit earlier this week where I was talking about, Jack Shore inside the distance, just because, the line, I don't know how you could bet on Jack Shore, what he is, like minus 700 or whatever. It's like, even put him in a parlay at that number is just, I don't think it's really worth it. Even though, like, Aaron Phillips, the thing I'm really, worried about with him is we've seen him be in the UFC already, and he's fighting guys like Sam Cecilia, Matt Hobart, and he's making Sam Cecilia look like a D1 wrestler. And then when he's back on the regional scene now, recently, I've even seen him getting taken down. He gives his back very easily. And Jack Shore, the main thing about Jack Shore, when you look at him on tape, where he's most dangerous is when he could take the back. And, I think that if he gets there, I think he's going to strangle him. So I kind of feel like, Jack Shore inside the distance could be a good play. But even then, you're kind of getting a little bit of a juiced line. So if you can kind of try to maybe potentially, think of maybe the first round or the third round or something like that, where you could pinpoint a round where you think you could win. Maybe you could make some more money that way. But yeah, I think Jack Shore definitely should get it done here. He maybe has to worry about the body kicks and the counters of Aaron Phillips a little bit, but even on the feet, Aaron Phillips doesn't use a lot of movement. So I think that Jack Shore should be good here.
Yeah, man, you hit the nail. Aaron Phillips is so plotty in that front foot, which means it's not just there to be kicked apart. It's there for sure to grab that single leg and take him either to the cage or just take him right to the mat. And like you said, his bread and butter, just getting that body triangle on, stapping some sort of choke on, or just riding out that entire round with that body triangle on, beating him up. If you want, you can get under 2.5 rounds at -175, which is a little bit less juice. I think Shore inside right now is exactly -225. So you'll save about 50 cents there, or a little bit more.
Very nice. What'd you think about it, Clint?
I mean, these guys said it all, Mo. I can't add too much more to that. I mean, we're talking about the biggest favorite on the card right now, so there's not much left to be said. This one's tough to bet. I don't like doing the big giant fighter odds in my parlays and stuff like that. -700 isn't going to do a whole lot for you as far as a parlay is concerned anyway, unless you're putting them with like a pick'em type fighter, and then you're still just barely getting a pick'em price. Like, there's not a whole lot of angle to it for me. I expect Jack Shore to win. I'm not taking the dog, but I got to tell you, boys, I am already winning because my boy Aiden in the chat here has already said that I'm allowed to marry his daughter or sister. So
Whoa.
I'm set. I'm done. Call it a day. I already won.
You're married man, right?
Daughter or sister? Or both?
I am, but I appreciate the offer.
You live in Utah?
No, sir. Hey, trust me.
Go ahead.
My wife's a redhead, buddy. She is a little spitfire. No way in hell do I have energy for a second.
Watch your pretty little mouth, boy.
I'll give her my.
I'm gonna come in there and be mad.
Hey, I had a guy try to hook me up with Jillian Robertson, tried to get me a date on the podcast a couple weeks ago. My wife was tuning in live when he did it and came in and like yelled at me on the show.
It was take that butt whooping for that one.
I'm on the couch again.
Yeah, hey, some things are worth it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as me, I'm thinking the same way the boys are thinking. Let's take a look at these props real quick. Guru said if you going to take Shore, take him first round, third round. Shore wins in round 1 plus 160. Shore wins in round 2 plus 405. Shore wins in round 3 plus 670. Are any of y'all taking any round props or any props in general? Is this a fade?
For me, I wouldn't mind a little sprinkle on 2 and 3, but round 1's not worth it in my opinion. You can't sprinkle all 3, especially plus 160 for round 1. Yeah. It might be worth a sprinkle for round 2 and round 3. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first round, the number that you said, I mean, I don't think you can justify a bet on that, but maybe the third round. I think Mo, you said the last 3 or 4 fights he's had, he finished in the third round, right?
His last 5 out of his last 7, he finished in the third.
So, I mean, and when you look at his style too, I mean, he's not really someone that's like an explosive guy. So unless he can like get the back early, I mean, he kind of wears on you and then probably maybe finish you later. So maybe the third round, and it's the best odds. So, but.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to be saying round 3 a lot on this show. That's how I see a lot of these fights ending. I think we've got a bunch of matches where we've got people who potentially are going to gas out, people who are potentially just going to get beaten down, and they'll get dragged into deep waters. I think round 3 props are going to be live this entire card.
And Shore doesn't start out hot. He starts out slow, plotty.
Exactly.
Looks to come in, leg kicks, throws 2 or 3 punches, but he has real high fight IQ, so I see him taking it down. The only thing is Phillips, he's never been sub before, correct? Doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it might take a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that's
exactly. Got to work him.
Yeah. All right. Hey, enough about that one. Let's get on to fight 2, boys. We got Liana Jojo versus Diana Velveeta. Hey, before Nikki drops them odds, these are some pretty serious names tonight, fellas. So, hey, I might put a little Arkansas twist on a couple of them. So don't kill your boy, Nikki. Drop them odds for your boy.
Diana Velveeta is right now a best case scenario -172, and you got Liana Jojo, okay, coming back at a 60. Jojo. Yeah, I could see the line being wider after watching a little bit of tape. But what are you guys thinking here?
Yeah, what you thinking, Clint?
Yeah, I mean, Velveeta is the rightful favorite in my opinion, but she's also not someone I want to lay 2-1 on. I mean, this is a fight that I just kind of got to stay away from. I was looking at Velveeta, and if you get her like -150, -140, something like that, then sure, Velveeta all day. Especially after Jojo's last fight where she got TKO'd by Sarah Moras, it doesn't get much lower than that. This is a spot though where again, I think round 3 is live. Velveeta's got some serious knees in the clinch. She's the better striker of the two, and we saw Jojo basically give up after 2 rounds in her last fight, and it was a mercy killing from the referee, finally pulled Cheesecake off. I think something like that could happen here, but the line is starting to get a little too wide for me. I'm not going to touch this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like you just said, I mean, right now we got 5'7" against 5'4". We got a 62-inch reach with Liana for a comeback at a 68-inch reach for Velveeta. I watched a bunch of tape on Liana today, and I saw nothing that makes her UFC caliber. I don't know how she's still signed. You lose against the girls like she has, more ass beating her the way she did. I mean, how do you take a girl like that? You can't. So this is Velveeta or pass for me. I mean, yeah, Velveeta does, cut off angles well, but like Clint said, both these girls are not high caliber. But if you're a choose the two on which one is better than the other, it's 100% Velveeta.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I kind of don't know if you can make a play on it. To me, it's like when it's low level women's MMA like that, if you make a play, it's almost like you want to bet on Jojo. But I mean, I don't think you'd want to do that. And the one thing I will say, like, since you guys are only talking about Velveeta's strengths, I think a way Jojo could win potentially is, I mean, we've seen Velveeta armbar a couple times, and that's kind of a thing that Jojo has. So, I mean, maybe she could win by submission or something. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play this fight personally or anything like that.
That's a valid point there, Guru. I mean, if you're gonna look to play Jojo, if you feel like this is wide, you feel like she's got a chance, no way is she out grinding Velveeta. You might as well look for that submission prop or the
plus 475 Clint.
Get that extra juice on there, man, because that's the only way she's getting it done.
Right? Plus 475. Do you think it's worth it? Or do you think it should be higher?
I'm still not betting it, but I'm just saying if you're looking for something.
I wouldn't play it.
Yeah, I mean, like if you just watch skill set for skill set, what I saw was Jojo. She's real timid, walks backwards. When they come, she does like blast, like pop, pop, pop. She'll try to fire off, but it's nothing real technical. It's she has a decent blast double, like a decent level change, but she doesn't. She just doesn't seem like she has real high fight IQ. And not that Velveeta's the smartest. I just think she throws a lot more volume. She's right in her face. Nice high guard. It showed when she got taken down. She was always trying to get against the cage and get up. She would, not necessarily get not get underhooks, but just kind of like the Derek Lewis get up. So you do got to watch for that. Jojo has decent subs. She could snatch a back, something like that. But I think for the most part, Velveeta's going to win a decision.
Yeah, she's
Jojo did follow me on Instagram though, so I've got to give her I got to be nice to
her. Because that's all she does is spend her life on Instagram.
That's right.
She's a great Instagram fighter. That's about it.
I mean, she's very nice on the eyes, boys. So that's that. We'll take this pause and calls. Hey, because your boy forgot. All this is happening and powered by odds.com. That's right. We would not be here kicking it right now with the 218 people in the chat if it wasn't for odds.com. And you can find all their content right here on Odds HQ. No space in between. Odds HQ. Hit that enter, hit that subscribe button, hit that little arrow, hit that bell notification, and click all because you don't want to miss any broadcasts we have. Me and Nikki put out content. Me and Nikki Guru put out content. Me and Nikki Guru Clint put out content. Clint puts out content. We got James Lynch. We got Ian Parker. We got all kinds. We got Jimmy the Bag covering all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to miss anything we got going here. So make sure you're subscribed. Also, run over to the website, odds.com. You see the guy below me puts out them power articles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find one of his articles. I'm going to get the link, and I'm going to smash it in the chat. So y'all make sure to smash that article. Go show Clintus some love, and go show odds.com some love because every Tuesday we're here. Clint, what days of the week do you go live? Like what day are your shows?
So my podcast is live on Monday every single week. Mo, thank you very much for the kind words, man. Yep, we're over at odds.com. The podcast has moved, and the Diehard MMA Podcast is going to be streaming live every single Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Mountain Pacific, over at Odds HQ on YouTube.
Mo, may I say something real quick? 222 people in the chat already watching. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all stepping up. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, we would not be here. That's just point blank mic drop. So thank you guys.
Boom, faux show. And then, me and Nikki, we got the weigh-in show. We're kind of throwing that 2-in-1 today because we got 45 cards to cover this week. But we got the weigh-in show. We're on the Tuesday. We go Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Guru's gonna start rocking with us on the Tuesday and the Friday show, and he'll make a special little cameo on Saturdays when he's not out being
down looking for chicks.
He lives in Vegas. He's out there on that strip. You better wear your mask, boy.
Yeah, hopefully they're closing everything again though now, so who knows what's going to be happening.
I can't wait for this next one. Go ahead, Mo. Oof.
All right, yeah. So, hey guys, support everybody on here, especially odds.com. Next up, we got Jared Flash Gordon versus Chris Fishgold. Mr. Nicky, drop me some odds, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, right now we got Mr. Fishgold at a plus 125. There's been a little bit of buyback on him in the last couple hours, last 4 or 5 hours. And then you got the best case scenario comeback at minus 137 for Flash Gordon.
Very nice. Guru, what's your thoughts on this, brother? Pop it off.
Yeah, I picked Chris Fishgold, and I'm really not super confident in the pick, but the reason why I picked him is because I do think he starts really fast in fights, and he's a decent grappler. I think on the feet he's gonna give Jared some problems early because I think he's gonna pressure him and make him go backwards. And I think Jared, he holds his hands too low at times. And I've seen him get teed off on by low level guys like Dan Morat that I just don't think that highly of. I think his grappling is better when he can get on top, but I don't know if he's going to be able to, consistently take down a guy like Chris Fishgold. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold him on the ground either. Cause Amir Khani struggled to take him down, and Fishgold did, attack it with an inverted triangle, a leg lock against Amir Khani, and he did eventually get submitted. But I think Amir Khani is on a different level than Jared Gordon, and Jared Gordon doesn't have a corner anymore, which I think is a big thing. His whole corner isn't there. It's only going to be, I think, Paul Felder, who I don't know if he's been at,
They used to be roommates.
Yeah, but he's in South Florida now, so I don't know if Paul Felder has even been, doing anything contributing to Jared Gordon's camp. I don't know if they've been talking or anything, but that has to be a big thing. It's good that he made weight today, and Chris Fishgold missed, which is kind of weird. I thought maybe it'd be the opposite, but I don't know. It's hard to trust Jared Gordon. Cutting the weight, going to Abu Dhabi, already has kind of a suspect chin. I got to see him do it first. I got to see him win a fight. So I'm going to pick Chris Fishgold in this one, but not super confident.
That Dan Morat fight, he won it unanimously. Dan Morat had a couple of moments in that fight, but the guys that he's been fighting are all bigger than him. Literally, when it comes to reach, I've researched every single guy. They had either an inch or more reach advantage on him. And height-wise, he was never fighting a guy that was shorter than him. And he mentioned to me, I think it was Silva, walks around like a bodybuilder when he doesn't cut weight. So, I think down at 145 is natural weight class. It's where he won. I believe it was the Cage Warriors belt or one of those belts. I got to look back. But he was a 145-pound champ, and then he went and fought and got signed to the UFC. And I believe he missed weight, actually, and that's why he ended up fighting 155 after that, because Duke Rufus did not want him to cut weight. So the whole reason why he left this camp is to come down and fight with Henry Hoof in the Hard Knocks is because Duke Rufus didn't want him to cut weight for his fight. So he knows he belongs down to 145 pounds, where he is not just the same size as guys, but maybe a little bit bigger in some aspects. Now, Guru, I agree with that first round is really dangerous with Chris Fishgold. He hits hard. I don't think his grappling is as good as you think, but I do think it's good enough. I do think it's Chris Fishgold's fight to win in the first. After that, I believe Jared Gordon takes this fight over. Jared Gordon dropping out at 145 after a stint at lightweight, I believe it's going to pay dividends. I believe he's going to feel that he's the bigger guy in the cage as opposed to being the smaller guy in the cage.
Nice. What's your thoughts on that, Clintus? I see that smirk you got over there, Clintus.
I know who he's going with already.
I'm on the dog here, man. I know my boy Nick loves him some Jared Gordon, and I know the guy's got a great story. I'm a huge fan of him and what he's done inside the cage and outside the cage more so. But, man, the dude's chin is a serious issue, and I really feel like Charles Oliveira just took a piece of him. Like, that's the kind of knockout that you don't come back from. Now you're telling me you're going to suck 10 extra pounds out, you're going to lose all that extra water on your brain, go down to 145 and be reinvigorated. I know everyone talks about Chris Fishgold not being that big of a striker, but he came in heavy for this one. I think he knows he needs a win here, and honestly, I think he gave up on that weight cut to make sure he had some extra gas in the tank. Straight up, I think he totally came in overweight on purpose. And even if he didn't
on the scales,
he looked big. And even if he didn't do it on purpose, he simply understood, hey, this cut's not going to happen, and he quit early on it. So one or the other, he didn't suck himself out like Gordon did. So I think he's going to have more gas in the tank than he normally does. I know his gas tank is sometimes a question mark. I just don't think Gordon's going to be able to take those big power hooks he lands on him early. If he can get rocked, he can get subbed. If he can get clipped, he can get KO'd. I got to go with the dog here. Absolutely have to.
Very nice. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I'm good.
Hold on. Real quick. Isn't Jimmy Rivera come off a pretty devastating knockout before he beat John Dodson? And they were pretty much 3 months apart. Marlon Moraes knocked him out with a head kick in round 1 and comes back and wins a 3-in unanimous decision against John Dodson.
Nicky, buddy, why are we talking about Jimmy Rivera?
Because it's a kind of, you said, took a shot and whatnot, and you maybe, his last fight against Charles LeBron.
Challenging you, Clint. He just drew a line in the sand.
I thought Marlon Moraes took Jimmy Rivera's life. And
he did, Clint. The Clint I know is not going to take that.
You're absolutely right, Mo. You're absolutely right. It's time for me to fire back some hard facts here.
Fact drop.
The difference, Nick, is that your boy Gordon is 1-3 in his last 4. It's not just one bad knockout. His last 3 losses have all been by knockout. He got flatlined by Carlos Diego Ferreira, who's got missiles for hands. Yep. He got flatlined by Joaquim Silva in the 3rd round late in the fight. And then he struggled and got hurt by Dan Moret, who is nothing but a grappler. And he had to basically grapple for his life in that fight. He was exhausted in the 3rd round, barely holding it together to get to the judges' scorecards. Then he took that life-changing 1st round KO flatline from Charles Oliveira. I could knock out your boy Gordon at this point. I don't mean any disrespect. The dude's chin is cracked. And unfortunately, we're talking about MMA, man. This is the hurt business. We got to try and make money on people when we've got a window, and he's damaged goods at this point. I cannot bet on a fighter who's got a bad chin like that. The only thing I can do is fade him. If he proves me wrong, if he comes in here and he wrestles my boy Fishgold for a full 15 minutes and wipes the floor with him, then that's fine. I will give him all the props that he deserves, and I'll fade him in his next fight.
What happens if he actually knocks out your boy Fishgold?
I mean, the only way I can see that happening is if Fishy Gas is out and it's like a late TKO. If he couldn't do it to Moret, I don't see him doing it to Fishgold.
That's a lower weight class, but we'll see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think if it's an early stoppage, it's Fishgold. If it's a late stoppage, it's Flash. But I could tell Nicky didn't like that. He took a big old sip of his Coors Light over there.
Miller Light.
My bad. But yeah, hey, that's that. Let's hit on to that next one. Next up, we got Modestas Baukautsis. That's a name right there. Versus Andreas Nikolaidis. Hey, boy, those names right there are killer. Hey, Nicky, how about you say both those names and give me some odds?
Yeah, you got a better chance of seeing Jesus right now. But Modestas Baukautsis against Andreas Nikolaidis. Is that all right?
Bam, boom.
Not bad.
Okay. Nikolaidis best case plus 180 on the comeback on minus 188 with Modestas. So The line's off, in my opinion, but we'll see what you guys think.
Nice. Clint, what you thinking about this one, brother?
You know, there's a couple of fights that I simply drew a line through. We've got 2 fight cards this week. We don't have a whole lot of time to study everything. And this is one that I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I see my boy Alex saying, "Fact time." This is a fireball and popcorn fight, baby. We're going to sit back and just enjoy this one. I don't have a read one way or the other, so I'm not going to push it.
Nick, and before you go, we're at the 304 mark, and that seems like a perfect mark for Clint to kind of tell everybody a little bit about his merch that he has going on. You know, hey, we're one team, one dream around here. I saw that on your videos. Loves it, loves it. Why don't you tell everybody what you got going and where they can find it, bro?
Thank you, my friend. Speaking of fireball and popcorn, we got a shirt made. We've got Diehard MMA fireball and popcorn shirts. They are slick. They are hot off the presses. Mine's in the mail. It's on its way to me right now. And if you head on over to pubsportsradio.com, that's where all my merch is being hosted. And you can also get just the good old-fashioned Die-Hard MMA Podcast t-shirt there. We got 1 or 2 more designs that we're working on. But if you're looking to fap with the rest of us, go get you a fireball and popcorn shirt.
Yes. No, it's the new shirt. It's actually called Fapping It with Nick. So
Yeah. I'm hoping. I want one of those shirts.
No.
I'm buying one.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Niggy, so what you think about this fight, brother?
Fap life.
Fap life. I don't know. All right. Modesto, another cage warrior champion, okay? He just needs to, in my opinion here, weather that storm of Andreas. He is coming in here a little bit early, and I believe he's a 185er, right? Coming up, this is at 205, so he's coming up weight classes here, correct? And in that, not the weigh-ins, but in the actual, face-offs, Modesto looked a lot bigger, and he's going to fill out even more. He cut weight as opposed to Andreas not cutting weight. But I don't like the line. It should be a little bit closer. Andreas is really dangerous for a round and a half, maybe a round, but I'll push it to a round and a half. But I think Modesto's just a rangier striker, and he likes to throw a lot of spinning kicks and stuff like that could get him in trouble. But if he minds the P's and Q's, this should be all him. He's 6'3". He's 26 years old in comparison to 6 foot 31-year-old Greek. And as we all know, these Greek fighters aren't making it in the UFC.
There you go. So Gabriel Killian says Andreas fell from a plus 190 to a plus 155 dog. Guru, did you go throw a big old stack on him or something, bro? How about you tell us how you see this fight?
Yeah, I kind of did. Not that I disagree, but I actually did. I put a bet on Andreas at plus 210. So, I mean, that was like on Sunday or Monday when I first watched it, because when I watched the fight originally, they didn't have a line on it. So I just created a line myself, and I had it close to a pick'em. So when I saw the line over 200, I just kind of had to bet it because of the value there. And the way that I just look at Modesto's fighting, man, I mean, he has that hands down style where he's trying to move in and out, Wonder Boy type style. And I don't think he's that athletic. I think guys that are explosive that can close that distance on him at the higher level are going to knock him out. We've seen John Redmond knock him out, who's not that great of a fighter. And his takedown defense is terrible. I mean, he gets taken down by a gust of wind. I mean, everyone seems to take this guy down, hold him down. And I think Andreas in that first round really has a big chance to get a knockout. I think it should be close to a pick'em. I think if Andreas takes him down, he could potentially finish him early too. Andreas, he has some good spins too. I mean, he had that spin knockout against Marcel Fortuna, who is a UFC veteran that fought at heavyweight. And I didn't think he looked that much smaller than Modestos at the weigh-ins. I mean, his back was really big. He was a little bit shorter, but, I don't know. I think it should be lined a lot closer. So I did, take a kind of a, 1 unit play on Andreas. So we'll see what happens with that one.
Andreas does look extremely explosive. He looks super explosive, big spinning heel kicks, big explosive movements. Everything is power. It seems like once he gets out the first, it's a little questionable. What kind of questioned me is the little fight tape that I got to watch on it. Andreas, he looked kind of yoked at 185, but at 205, he looked a little soft. So if his cardio was questionable at 185, you got to assume it's probably going to be even more questionable at 205. And old Bukaki himself, he can take a licking and keep on ticking. I forget who it was, but he was getting taken down over and over and over and over, and then he finished him late second round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my man, and he's a true 205er. So he's going to be able to take – that's what I'm banking on with my pick is he's going to be able to take whatever Andreas brings in the first, kind of bring it on in the second and the third. He'd let his cardio win him the fight, because once he hurts somebody, he pours it on, and he pours on volume, and he hits hard. But as far as skill set, I think Andreas has a lot better skill set. That cardio is just questionable. So
hey, if we're looking for a late finish on your boy Nikolaidis, we got those long odds in rounds 2 and 3 again, boys. That would be a way to look at it. If you don't think he's going to get it done in round 1, maybe just sprinkle rounds 2 and 3. Look for that late finish and a big cash.
Yeah, the thing about Nikolaidis too is he's quit more than once. Where it's not like he got knocked out; it's he's exhausted and he just shows up and just gives up. So I mean, if he gets tired, I mean, we've seen him kind of pull a stun in there and just give up before. So he could do it again.
Yeah. So if you think that Nikolaidis has a chance, and if you think that he's round 1 or bust, right now you can get him at plus 500. But let's say Baukautsis, round 2, you can get him at plus 467, and round 3, you can get him at plus 850.
Oof. It's not bad. Actually, I'm looking at Baukautsis right now, and also a plus 900. Wow, that must have just went up when we were talking.
Oh, yeah.
After the third round?
Yep, for the third round.
There you go. That might be something that Clint was talking about earlier about a round 3 prop. So
you won't know until the total show, right? Oh, no, wait. There is no total show for this.
No, he already dropped one.
Total Madness is already out. That's over at Odds HQ for you, boy, if you want my total over and under reads.
Hey, Clint has already got picks out for Saturday's card.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Slow down, bro.
Hey, guys.
We're setting the bar high.
331 people watching. I think we just might have broke a record right there, guys. So
somebody going to call you.
Awesome.
Make sure you subscribe, because you never know when we're going to go live. You never know when there's going to be 45 UFC cards in a week, and you never want to miss any of this content. Odds HQ, odds.com. Let's head on to the next fight, boys. We got Ricardo Ramos versus Laron Murphy. Nikki, drop me some odds, please, sir.
Right now, you get best case at plus 138 for Mr. Murphy, and then you get the comeback at minus 150. Best case for Mr. Ramos. I think this line's probably about dead accurate.
Nice, Guru. What you thinking, bro?
Yeah, I've been kind of high on Laron Murphy. I picked him to beat Zubair Tukhugov as a big favorite, or as a big underdog, and he's an underdog coming in here again. And I do like him. His striking is really good. Like, he has pretty good boxing, and he's long, he's rangy, and he can kind of like double, triple jab in a range really quick. He explodes, and he's super fast twitch type guy, knockout power, big for the division. But his takedown defense is pretty good, and his get-ups are pretty good. But I have seen him give his back, and I am worried about Ramos potentially getting a submission here. But I'm going to roll with Laron Murphy. I'm going to pick him to win. I just think maybe he's going to be a little bit too athletic, a little bit too explosive, and, maybe land a big shot, or just be able to continue to stand up when he's taken down, or deny the takedowns and win a decision. So I'm going to go with Laron Murphy here, but not super confident.
Okay.
What you thinking, Nicky?
Ramos moves well around the cage. That's one thing I really like when he takes great angles and whatnot. And one thing I was looking at with Murphy against that Zybara fight, I don't want to pronounce his name, he was landing some nasty leg kicks. And that's just because Zybara is not as, he's very stationary. He doesn't move like Ramos. So I don't think that leg kick's going to be there for Murphy. That being said, like I said, he's got sick kicks and whatnot. He's very creative on the feet. And I just don't want to get too cute, with Murphy and get caught. Murphy can throw. He's got a overhand right, overhand left. You can throw them both the same. I don't know, man. I'm liking Ramos here. I think Murphy's last fight, that draw he had was Zybara. He was losing the first 2 rounds, and what do you get, a 10-8 in the third, right? I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's how it ended up being a draw. I don't know, man. In his last 8 fights, he does have 8 knockouts, and they're all by stoppage. 5 out of his 8 fights are by stoppage. but all in the first round. So this might be another fight you might want to take. Him in the first round, Murphy in the first round, and see what kind of odds. I'm actually going to take a look at that right now. Clint, go ahead. I'm going to take that Murphy first round real quick.
Okay. So this is one where I'm not sure what I want to do with Ramos. I feel like he's another one of these Luis Pena types, and you guys know I had one of my big-ass bets fading Luis Pena a couple weeks ago and absolutely smashed Kama Worthy. That's kind of how I feel about Ramos, and the fact that he's not quite living up to the expectation that I feel like we all put on him. He's coming along. He's a young kid. He can still develop. He can still improve. Very dangerous. But he's getting led along by the UFC. He's now getting a very game opponent who's somebody that I am high on. So I'm actually going to stay off of this one. My gut tells me that this is going to be a very close, very competitive fight, and I think that Ramos will end up getting the nod in the end. But I think if you're a Ramos backer, you're going to be sweating that ticket because his opponent Murphy here is going to make this thing hairy for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass on it. My gut reaction is that Ramos gets it done by decision, but I'm staying clear of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one for sure. I think it goes, one of a couple ways. You have Ramos, if he comes in and he at least makes Mr. Murphy think that he's going to shoot for a takedown chain grapple and have Murphy thinking, then he's probably going to win a decision. Because even though Murphy does have good takedown defense, if you're giving him choices, you can have him thinking. But if he doesn't start testing with those takedowns in round one, Murphy's going to get loose. He's going to start cutting the cage off well. He's going to walk forward. And if they get into where they're striking in the pocket, then Murphy's going to win. So I think Ramos has to come out, use those body lock takedowns, make him work. But I think another thing that Murphy showed when he came out and he got that tie versus Zuba, I believe it was in Abu Dhabi. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I remember watching it today, and it popped up on the screen that the heat index in there was 125. And my man was fighting takedowns off in the third. So that tells me that his gas tank's going to be on point. So I think that either guy has a chance to win. I think I'm going to be with Clint and just going to fap it up on this one. But I'm not mad if you take the dog Murphy on this one because I like, he has good takedown defense. He seems to want to get up if he gets taken down. And I like his striking. He looks to have power. He switches orthodox southpaw. So I think my pick's going to be Murphy. I think I'm going to go Murphy decision.
Another thing about Zabur, he had trouble taking down Murphy. And if anybody thinks that, is a better wrestler than Zabur, he's not. You know what I mean? So there's another thing to keep in reflection right there. So this might just end up being a fight on the feet. And if that's the case, Ramos could be in some trouble. So
Zuba was taking him down, but he wasn't having good top control.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Guru? Is that pretty much how it went?
He get up.
He was controlling him, but it was like he wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting in his guard, and Laurent was like landing elbows off his back, things like that. But I don't like with Ramos though. If he gets taken down by a guy like Ramos is going to try to like advance position and submit him. He's not going to be like Zubair, where he's kind of just content to just stay in his guard, stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit of a different fight if it goes to the ground, I think. But
do you see Ramos getting him down, Guru?
I don't know. I think he could get him down, and then hopefully Murphy will be near the cage or he'll pop right back up, because I think if he can get him down, especially early in cement position, he does have a chance to submit him. But, hopefully not. Since I picked Murphy, I want him to deny the takedowns, but I can't say I'm not, nervous that Ramos will get a takedown and submit him. So
plus 300 for Ramos by submission.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If we're betting it, boys, how you betting it?
Like I said, we might be fapping this one away, but you never know. During the fight or right before the fight, I might throw some shekels on a prop here, and it might be by Ramos by submission. I would rather it better than plus 300, but that's at least I'll take it. We'll put it that way.
There you go. Nice. That's enough on that one, boys. Let's head on to the next one. And I think, I'm going to introduce one. We got John Phillips. Then I'm going to kick it over to the man that looks like he's the smartest guy on the panel. Boom, Clint. Why don't you knock that next name out for me, bro? I'm from Arkansas.
Hey, nobody's ever called me the smartest guy in the room before, so
I'm just saying, bro. I think you look like it, bro. So we're gonna go with it.
John Phillips taking on Khamzat Chimaev. Not
Guru,
sure.
how would you have said it? Your name is Guru.
Yeah, maybe like Khamzat Chimaev. I guess that's what I would say.
I'd call him Khamzat.
Hey, let's just call him old Kaz. Or
There we go. Okay.
What's
I
his
don't
name?
Figure out the
Boris
first
or
name.
something?
Khamzat works.
Boris?
yeah, oh Kazmat works. Hey, Nikki, drop me some odds on that, bro.
All right. Right now we got Khamzat sitting at a minus 326 juice to the gills, and then you got to come back on John Phillips at plus 284. I do see this being about $1.75 to $1 too wide when it comes to the lines. What are you guys thinking here?
I'll be honest with you guys. I am sold as all hell on Khamzat. This guy is a complete monster. And even though I try to stay away from debuting fighters, even though he's only 6-0, and you worry about that's right, Mo. I'm on the train, buddy. And we're talking about props. I played Khamzat by submission. I got minus 125 on it. The biggest issue here, I actually wanted to bet John Phillips this weekend. His old opponent, I thought he had a decent shot against, but when he got this transition here, this guy's not going to stand and bang with him. If you're going to stay on the feet and you're going to duke it out with John Phillips, he can knock out anybody. Dude's dangerous, but he's so bad on the ground. And Khamzat's got that chain grappling thing. Even though he's coming up a weight class for this one, he is by far the bigger guy. He towers over John Phillips, and he is sick on the mat. I think all it's going to take is one, folks. I think if Khamzat gets this thing to the floor just that one time, this fight's going to be over.
Nice. Hey, we're at 379. Y'all go tell somebody. Let's hit that 400 mark tonight, guys.
Oh, shit.
Make sure we smash that like button, because that's how YouTube knows that you enjoy what we do here and you want us to keep pumping out that content. But yeah, y'all go tell a friend, a cousin, a neighbor. Let's see if we can get that up to 400. What you thinking about, Nikki?
I mean, I was trying to talk myself on, like I was talking to Guru earlier on Phillips. I mean, he's a nasty striker, but then after watching the weigh-ins and then watching them the stare downs, he's just huge. And the funny thing is, you got Phillips, a 185er, and then Khamzat, how do you pronounce his name? He has fought at
added an in there, bro.
But he's been fighting at 170 pounds as of late. So you would have thought he would be coming in as a smaller guy, but no. I think Phillips should be the 170 pounder if he decided to get on a better diet, and Khamzat should definitely be a 185 pounder. So that being said, though, after watching, and that's big, the weigh-ins are huge. Those when they're up against each other, you can really, really, really get a good feel. So that being said, my original lean to Phillips is, and I'm on Khamzat here. I might tail Clint here on that submission prop, but other than that, it's a stay away. There's not enough, like inside the distance for Khamzat is like minus 225. It's ridiculous.
That's why I had to go submission, man. As much as there's always that chance of the knockout threat, I mean, Phillips is just so damn tough. He's not going to give up. He's not going to give in. And we saw last week the referees are letting people die on the canvas while we're in Abu Dhabi. So I don't think he's going to get
Kumite like blood sport for real.
Right? No, I think we're gonna have to get that tap, because Khamzat's gonna watch that film and go, okay, so I'm not TKOing anybody. The ref is never gonna step in. I'll just grab the neck.
I know Guru has no idea what blood sport is. You don't know how I know that? Because my man didn't even know who the fucking Ninja Turtles were last Friday.
That's not true. That's a lie, bro. I didn't know the one dude,
bro.
He didn't know the names of the or who they were, and whatever, Michelangelo.
Guru, buddy, how do you not know the Ninja Turtles?
Nah, I just didn't know their characteristics.
That's because Guru's a young cat, 22, sharp mind. Yeah, I wish he would be that sharp.
Bro, no, I said he was Donatello, and he goes, who?
Hey, we're the old dogs in here, Mo. We can't blame him too much. Kid's got a sharp mind, but I mean, my daughter is watching the new show of the Ninja Turtles. There's a gap there. They're marketing to kids these days, so we'll give you a pass, Guru. It's cool, but you got to go back, man. When you get a chance, go back and pull up the old Ninja Turtles, because they were badass.
The new movies just came out recently. I love them.
Hey, we're just messing with the Guru. We love you. Hey, we know you like that Pokemon or whatever the new shit is. Yo, we at 399. We almost there, Guru. I bet after your breakdown, we gonna hit that 400. Why don't you let them know what you're thinking, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to close it out. I'm going to give it the 3 for 3 because, I mean, I just don't see that many paths to victory here for John Phillips. I mean, he only really has one path to victory in every fight, right? It's getting that first round knockout. So after 2.5, 3 minutes, he has no cardio left, especially with someone that's going to be chain wrestling with him, like Clint said. And I will say, I mean, I would be a little bit nervous about the submission just because it seems like when Khamzat gets on the ground, he kind of likes to, trap wrists and just like beat the crap out of people and get the finishes that way. He's kind of seems like he's a violent guy, but I think, I think if he gets the one takedown, I think it'll probably be over shortly after. I mean, I haven't seen anything from Phillips that, makes me think he's going to be able to, do much on the ground. I mean, we've seen him against guys like Charles Byrd, and Charles Byrd dominated him real quick. And I think that, Khamzat is probably a lot better than Byrd on the ground too. So I just think that he's a pretty safe play here for this one.
Didn't Kevin Holland beat him too pretty easily?
Yeah, Kevin Holland took him down 5 times too.
Yeah,
that was like, I think he was striking with him for a long time in the fight
Holland
too.
Kind of played with him. He stood outside with him and he used his kicks. He hurt him to the body a couple of times. Holland was just kind of having fun in there that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boys. I mean, everything y'all said, I agree with. I think Khamzat's going to come in. I think I totally messed that up. Is it Khamzat? Yeah, Khamzat's going to come in. He's going to duck under those big wild hooks, press him against the cage, wrap him up, hit that little grapevine with his leg, get them all off balance, fall backwards with them, probably sub them, ground and pound. I think once he gets them down, it's going to be over.
Mo, I hate to interrupt you, buddy, but you got to check that number.
Woo!
3, baby.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Right there, baby, right there.
Hey, y'all get a flare strut out there.
Bottom of my heart. Thank you.
That's right, baby. 403. We're breaking records tonight. We ain't breaking records. You guys are breaking records. Shout out to the Odd Squad. And when I say Odd Squad, it's just not the 7 or 8 of us that make content. It's the 406. Heck, we just hit the 3K mark too, boys, on subs the other day. So shout out to Odd. Shout out to all y'all for making this bigger than I could ever even imagine. I figured maybe in a year or 2 years or so we'd be hitting like what we're doing now. But hey, we're rolling. Yeah, 1.5 months. I don't remember how long it's been because it's been so much fun. We just been rolling.
And real quick, guys, on the bottom,
go ahead, brother.
Who's the chat's best bet? Guys, throw your best bets in the chat, please. I'm going to be taking a note of all of them. I'm going to be copy and pasting and writing it all down and shouting you guys out tomorrow night.
There you go. Nice. So in memory, which he's still rolling. He's just doing his sports. So, but we're holding it down here in memory of Jimmy the Bag. So I think, what would Jimmy the Bag do right now? We just finished the prelims. So Jimmy the Bag would come out and say, guys, it's time for prelims best bets. I'll let whoever wants to start. I don't want to put it on blast. Who's thinking what's their best prelim bet to make some money?
I'm going to say Khamzat by submission is probably my best bet. I've only got 2 on the prelims. I've got Fishgold and I've got Khamzat. I know Khamzat's winning this thing. It's just whether or not he gets it done by choke or TKO. Fishgold, I think he's going to knock out Gordon. But, yeah, I got to go with Khamzat by submission for my best bet on the prelims.
I'm going last.
All right. Hey, Nick, thank you.
I'm gonna stick on the same fight, but mine's gonna be Chimaev to win in the first round plus 100. So that's gonna be my play for this one.
I know it's juicy. I know it's juicy, guys, but I think it's as close to a lock in the prelims as you can get. It's gonna be Diana at minus 172.
Okay.
Diana Velveeta.
Yeah, I definitely think she's gonna win.
Juicy, but I think she wins.
Juicy.
What about you, Mo? Who you betting?
Khamzat is probably, in my opinion, the biggest lock. I hate using that dirty word, but since the other boys said that I'm thinking let's go sprinkle a little round 2, round 3 on Mr. Jack Shore.
I like it.
Yep.
I like that.
There you go. We got the bosses of all bosses, Miss Cynthia in the chat. Give her a round of applause. Hey, and we got 424 people in here. We're breaking records tonight, boss. That's how we do it. So let's get on to this main card. Let's see if we can roll through these, baby. First up, I am looking forward to hearing Guru and Mr. Clint's breakdown on this. Mr. Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Monor Lirizis. Probably butchered those, but we're going to keep it rolling. Nikki, drop me some odds on those.
All right, right now we got the comeback here. You're talking about Abdul Razak Hassan, right? Minus 302 to come back on plus 275. Completely inappropriate line, in my opinion. I do think Hassan still gets it done, but I think the line's a little bit appropriate after being off 2 years for Hassan. What are you guys thinking here?
What you thinking,
Go ahead,
Clinton?
Guru. Lay it down for him, Guru.
Yeah, you let the young man have the floor.
Yeah, man. I mean, I completely agree with Nick. Where I think the line is way off. I'm not gonna put a bet on Lirizis just because I don't know. I'm not that super confident in it. But I mean, when you watch this guy's tape, I mean, he's fun to watch, man. He throws from crazy angles, throws a lot of spins, a lot of head kicks, super accurate. He has long limbs, good knees up the middle. And, I mean, on the feet, this is going to be the best guy Razak has ever fought. I mean, when you look at Razak's career, I mean, he's beaten Nico Price, who's a pretty well-regarded welterweight, but Nico isn't a guy that has head movement. He doesn't feint. I mean, he's a bull, man. I mean, they met in the middle, and they went to war, and one guy went to sleep. Like,
hey, Guru, some people say Nico Price might be top 5 in the world.
Yeah, shout out to UFC Bro Picks on that one.
Shout out Bro Picks.
Oh,
dirty.
Yeah.
But shit, man. I mean, yeah, like I just feel like I think that Razak, like he's obviously super, super explosive. He's really, really good in the first round, especially in that first minute. I mean, I think like a majority of his wins are within 1 minute in his career, which is pretty crazy. And I think he's going to come out here trying to do that again. I mean, when you listen to his midweek interview, it was a little bit crazy, right? He's talking about, at first he's sitting in a dark room, all depressed, thinking about committing suicide, that he's thinking about revenge. I mean, it seems like he's all over the place. So, I mean, to lay that type of money on someone like that, I just don't think that's very smart at all. He's 34 years old with the layoff as well. And I don't know. I mean, I think that it's going to be a fun fight while it lasts. I think Razak, could get a knockout just because when I look at Lirizis, he does have better striking, but he's a little bit rigid and stiff sometimes, and he can, be a little bit hittable. So I think that maybe Hassan's style will work in this one, but I'm not as sold on Abdul Razak like other people are. Like, think he's going to be in the top 10, things like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. So I want to see how he does here. I'm going to pick him, but, kind of skeptical with that one.
okay. I mean, for me, also, like we were just talking about, he's been sidelined for near 2 years now. I know he had some issues in his personal life. I heard an interview that those issues have changed his life and not for the better. So this has to come into question. Is he mentally ready to fight after 2 years, honestly? And Lirizis is no slouch. I watched a bunch of tape on him today, a bunch of highlight reels. He's so athletic, very fast, kind of, a twitch muscle type thing, very explosive. So, I mean, if Hassan is slipping just a little bit, he will get caught. But he's a little flashy for my likings when it comes to Lirizis. He kind of tries to fake you with an uppercut and throw some, like you did with that one guy, knocked him out with a head kick. That's not going to happen with Hassan. So he needs to mind his P's and Q's here, kind of gently get into the fight, not just go rock hard. Don't, sounds bad, but rock solid, right from the get-go. I still think Hassan wins here. The level of competition, I know you're saying Guru hasn't been the best when you actually compare it, but I still think he's a better athlete here. But after 2 years, can you really place a bet on him in the minus 300s? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think you could put a bet maybe for this fight. The best bet maybe I would say is that, the fight doesn't start round 2. I mean, I think that would potentially be a good bet,
Fight start doesn't plus 100.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. What do you think, Clint?
I see Clint over there. His mind just There's a Dr. Evelyn over there. Hey, give me a little pinky on the there you go. Clint, what you thinking, bro? Hey, and a rock eyebrow? You're getting a little fucking crazy, Clint. You're getting crazy, bro. Hey, tell me what you thinking on this, my man.
You know, every once in a while, I gotta unzip and go for that big balls play, Mo.
Whoa.
Gotta do it. Nuts on the table.
I'm
pulling the trigger, buddy.
Do it.
I agree with my boy Guru over here. I'm actually betting it. I'm gonna go ahead and take Lirizis. I got him at plus 270, and I gotta tell you, this came because of my weigh-in video. I watched Abdul Razak Al Hassan, and he is muted. He was so low energy compared to anything I've seen. When you combine that with the fact that he's going to have ring rust, he's been gone for a year and a half. Who knows what his life and his training have been like with everything that he has been going through. He's going to be jet lagged. Who knows how hungry he is. And then you've got this kid on the other side. Now, I know Lirizis does not have the level of competition of somebody like Abdul Razak Al Hassan, obviously. But he is the bigger, longer man. He's going to be able to be in this game. And Abdul Razak can knock anybody out in that first round. He could knock a horse out in the first round. So don't get me wrong. This bet absolutely could lose. But I think getting damn near 3-1 on this kid Lirizis in a bad spot for Abdul Razak Al Hassan, especially when we know that Razak can get strung out. If this guy gets dragged into deep waters, then how explosive is he? Then how good is he? And Lirizis is probably the best striker that he's ever faced, even though he doesn't have UFC experience himself. He's very solid defensively. And like Guru said, those head kicks come out of nowhere. I absolutely could see Abdul Razak whiffing on some shots and then getting really frustrated when he doesn't get that knockout. I think Lirizis is really, really live in this spot. And I got to take my shot. The thing you'll always get with me, Mo, you know this. I will put my money where my mouth is. There's no way I can stand in front of you and say, this plus 270 dog has value and not bet it.
Hey, he will also make a video when the fight's real close, and he'll make a video of himself watching the fight and losing and putting it out there.
It's true.
It was pretty classic. I wish you would have let it roll for about another 5.
He actually won that fight. Max Holloway, we all know, won that fight, guys.
Hey, we don't want to start talking about that. Hey, Nick's been on a damn rampage for
I bet
days now.
Max Holloway won
Nick's
that
been
fight.
on a rampage for days about this.
I want my money. I want my bookie to say to me,
He's been on a rampage.
you're not getting,
As far as me,
I'm taking back what I gave you because Max Holloway won that fight. I'd be like, you know what? You're right.
Nick has been non-stop this fight on Twitter for 3 fucking days now.
Sorry,
but you gotta love it. Hey.
I waved the white flag. I lost that one. It's all good. But hey, yeah, you'll get me. You'll get my live reaction here. Hopefully, my guy's the one doing the winning this time. Because man, is there anything like cashing a higher than plus 200 dog? There's no feeling like hitting a dog that size and just knowing you're right and walking away with that fistful of cash.
And this is a great scenario right now. Hassan 2 years off. Lirizis prospect, hits hard, flashy. Athletic, so this could be a recipe for disaster for Hassan.
Yeah, I think the big thing is what y'all are talking about is the time off. Like, is the rust. Mm-hmm. He did look like kind of depleted and like sad and just kind of standing there like at the weigh-ins. Normally he's all rocked up and all
I think he had a bad weight cut.
Yeah, came in 174. Just here's my thing is you got to go by the tape, even though it's been a little bit, Steve. I still watch the tape. And with his only loss being against Amari Akhmadev, or however you say my man's last name, I think I butchered it, but Amari for sure. Amari's a big dude, man. That was at 170. Amari is at 185 now, and he looks big at 185. And these boys were cracking each other. And I just see if he's cracking Lirizis like he was cracking Amari, Lirizis is not going to be able to hold up to that. And then another one that I watched on Manor. I know a lot of people in the chat thought I said Manor, but no, Mo-Nor. That's right. That's an Arkansan special. That's a beautiful word for an Arkansan. He was fighting some guy named Van Dijk, something like that, and he was getting pieced up. And this dude is just a lower regional level, was getting taken down, was getting hit with overhands. He had a cut under his right or left eye, and if he comes out and gets hit by Al Hassan, however you say my man's name, it's going to be night. But if he gets out of the first, it's going to be questionable. This might be a live betting situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say he comes out in the first, maybe knocks Lirizis down, tries to finish him, don't finish him. Well, best believe he's going to be tired. He has a gas tank problem, and maybe live bet. Check that out. But my pick is Mr. Al Hassan.
Another thing with the cardio too is that he's from Dubai, so he's already there. Like, he didn't have to travel or anything, Lirizis. I mean, that's a big advantage.
There you go.
No jet lag, no acclimation, used to the heat.
Oh, big word. I like that, Clint.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
I'm smarter than I look sometimes.
There you go. Genius.
I'm not.
Anything we want to add on this before we head to the next?
I think we covered it.
Well, I think we smashed it. Let's get on to the next one. We got Boston Nick's favorite little gal fighting next. Miss Molly Meatball McCann versus Taylor Santos. Boston Nick, drop me some odds on this, brother.
Right now we got Molly McCann at -125 best case, and then you got to come back at +118 for Miss Santos.
Yo, Nick, refresh that page, buddy.
Oh, really? No way. Has it
refresh that page?
Oh, wow. -135 on Molly McCann. Come back at +133 for Santos. That changed within the last 5 to 10 minutes, right?
And I'm seeing her up all the way around -150 at some of the other books as well.
I'm just giving best case scenario. So, yeah, it's as high as -150-ish. Wow.
Hey, I see Guru down there just itching. I see I got beautiful eyes you got, Guru. Why don't you let us know what you're thinking about this fight, bro?
I mean, I know Clint, he's a big fan of Molly McCann, and I think Nick likes her too. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, watching her fights, I never think she's that good, man. I mean, her striking, it's like she's a little bit choppy. I mean, she does throw a lot of volume, and she tries to be like use that in and out type of style, but she struggles with the reach, man. She has a big reach disadvantage in a lot of fights. In this one too, it's like 6 inches. So I kind of get why the line was so close, because on the feet, I mean, I think Santos is pretty good. And when you watch that first fight when she fought Barella, she did lose that fight. A lot of people, talk about that because Barella is, a pretty low-level girl. But, I thought, she showed really, really obvious signs of, having like UFC jitters in there, man. I mean, the first 2 rounds, she never got started. I mean, there was a point in the fight where they broke them up against the fence, Barella and Santos, after Barella was just kind of holding her there, and Santos didn't even move. She was just like fixing her shorts, and then Barella just ran and clinched her up again. So it was like she didn't click on until that 3rd round, and when she clicked on, she started beating the shit out of Barella. I mean, she was hitting her with the straight punches, with the low kicks, and I think on the feet, Santos is going to be a lot better than McCann at range. But I mean, McCann has started to show that evolution with her wrestling, with her grappling game. And the thing I didn't like about Tyler was that, Barella was just kind of throwing these shots to enter range and wasn't really throwing them to like stay on the feet. And Tyler wasn't really reading that. She was trying to, strike back or defend the strikes and just getting taken down real easy, where I think Molly can maybe use her strikes to disguise the level changes and get the win. But I'm not super confident on that pick. I mean, I think that Santos's jiu-jitsu is actually probably better. Like Molly, when she gets on top, I mean, she just kind of likes to get to half guard and just stall out, just like sit on top and not really do much. I mean, against Velveeta, she got to some dominant positions, but that girl is real low level on the ground. I think Santos's jiu-jitsu is probably better, but if she just sits in her half guard and, uses the volume, gets some takedowns, she could probably edge a decision in this one. But it's a close fight.
Girl, you will never, ever see me bet on the famous drug smuggler Barella, okay? I hate that girl with all my might, okay?
Yeah.
And if you get beat by a girl like Barella, not with my worst enemy's money, I'm going to bet it. So that's end of story. She's rangy with her kicks, Santos is, whatnot. That's about it, I think, for this girl. She's not good in boxing range, and that's where McCann, in my opinion, will have success. She's going to get into her range, into the clinch, not so much in the clinch, just in that, area where she's able to land her strikes. And her wrestling, her, not to mention her get-up game, is improved, times 10 since her inception into the UFC. So I do like Molly a lot here. We got a minus 135.
Good level change, too.
Yeah, right. And I should have locked her in at minus 125, and I'm really pissed off that I missed that line at minus 135. But I'll take the 10 cents, and I'll still take Molly. So it's Molly for me. I'm not betting someone that lost to the famous drug smuggler.
Barella, though, like that was I know everyone like craps on Barella now, but that was a different time in her career, man. I mean, she got the submission over Kalindra Faria, the first fight in the UFC in the first round, and then she won a round against Chukagi, and I mean that was like a close, competitive fight. And then after that, she beat Tyla, and now she's been on a skid. But I mean,
he's horrible.
It wasn't the same. Like Barella had a lot more confidence back then.
She doesn't move. She's so plotty. Barella, that is. She's just so plotty. She doesn't move around. No angles whatsoever. If Molly fought Barella, I think she would put the whooping on her.
Yeah, I think Santos has good like offensive clinch work, but when you start putting her on the defense and get her against the cage and making her work on the defense, she's not as good. And then you get her down, and I saw her, something that you can look for is just how kind of people get defeated. If she's down in side control and just both her shoulder blades are against the mat and she's not trying to shrimp out to her side, create space, and she's just sitting there defeated, I think on Molly Meatball, she's going to be able to come in, throw some looping overhands, and as she does, she's been shown to be good at level changing and shooting doubles. But I think it was the Velveeta fight. DC was doing commentary, and he came out and said that Molly has a great double, but it seems like when she goes for a single, she doesn't really know how to finish the single. So I look for her to just stay away from the single leg, change levels, get that blast double, get Santos on the ground, make her work to get up, and probably win a decision. Hey, Clint, boy, your star is shining bright. I don't know if that sun over there is gleaming off that dome piece or what, my brother.
I'm good. So jealous that you're in Abu Dhabi right now. This is ridiculous.
Just enjoying the weather, boys.
Yeah, hey, you got 471 great people out there that should be smashing that subscribe button along with that like button, because that's how YouTube knows that we doing what y'all like and y'all enjoy it. So if y'all could do that for us, you get a 2-sweet NWO Wolfpack. There you go, boom. And Clint, how about you let us know what you think about this fight, bro?
I got a fun little story for all of you guys. So everybody that watches the Diehard MMA podcast knows about the infamous cousin Judd, my cousin that comes and hangs out and talks fights with me every once in a while. I've converted him into being a degenerate gambler like myself. And, when he got married all these years ago, he's a little older than me. I was young. I was in high school. He forgot to send out half of the wedding invitations for his own damn wedding. Left them under the seat of his truck. Yeah. And you know what they had at that wedding? Meatballs. I hate meatballs. My mom cooked so many meatballs. We had one of those gigantic ass basement freezers. We had Ziploc bags full of gargantuan I ate meatballs for dinner every day for like 6 months. I cannot stand meatballs. Boys, I love this meatball. I am all over Molly Meatball.
This meatball you're about, huh?
I'm all about it. I hit her twice, boys. I got in before that line moved. I hit her at minus 115. I hit her again at minus 125. I am on the meatball train. I just think that she's going to destroy in that boxing range. Santos has a leg kick and a jab. That combo, she works over and over and over. Molly crashes that pocket. She'll get in boxing range. She's going to hit her with some big bombs if this thing hits the mat. I know, Guru, I know you said she kind of tends to stall out in half guard, but this is MMA, folks. She's going to be on top. I don't see her getting swept. I don't see her getting reversed. And Meatball's been working on that strength and conditioning program, folks. She is thick. I tweeted out a picture a couple days ago. This girl is in shape. She was motivated at the weigh-ins. I've never seen her emotional and like getting somebody's face talking shit. Like she was in Santos's grill twice looking. Yeah, twice. She was ready to go. And Santos Santos looks like she may have had a bit of a rough weight cut. That's another thing that really pushed me over the edge here. She was another one of these muted fighters. She was another one of these really low energy fighters. I don't think she did too well. And I know she's got that reach advantage. That was a thing that I noticed that I think was a problem, but I was surprised to see that there's no height advantage to go with it. I don't know if she's going to be able to fight long enough to utilize that reach advantage. And she has the most padded record I have ever seen. I just can't. I doubled down on Molly Meatball. I'm all in on it. And my boy Bill asking a very good question. That was a soft opener, my friend. Some poor book somewhere opened up at minus 300, took an early hammer on Santos because they felt like that was too wide. Everybody else corrected market wide and opened it up around even money. And right now, we are seeing the market tell us that Molly Meatball is the right side. Everybody waited. Everyone held their breath trying to get Molly Meatball at plus money. And as soon as she hit even money, the landslide started. Now we're seeing minus 150, and I don't think that landslide is stopping. I do think Meatball should be around a minus 200 favorite. So I would bet her all the way up until that point. Love me some Meatball. Let's get it.
Ooh, hey, boys. I'm feeling like a bully over here. We got the new guy. He's 19, going on 23. I'm playing Guru. Hey, you want to hit us with a rebuttal? Hey, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, purple belt. He'll come in and hit us with a high elbow guillotine.
Sure, you're a purple belt?
Yeah, man, yeah.
That's legit, man. I'm only a blue belt. Good job. Congrats.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you. I've seen your showing your medals and all that. I haven't done many competitions, so you're ahead of me on that. So
he's been on the mats with some pretty elite people, though.
Hey, competitions are fun, man. They're a real good way to see where you're actually at compared to other people your level. You get used to training with the same people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely want to start doing them, but it's just like, costs money, and I'm still in school right now. So, hopefully eventually I'll start doing more of that and all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like I didn't bet Santos or anything. It's not like I picked Molly McCann. I'm not dying on the hill for Tyler here, but it's just I do think in the Santos, in the clinch, I have seen her take the back, threaten rear naked chokes, things like that. And I do think, like I said, I think her jiu-jitsu is better, but I agree with Clint. I don't know if she's going to be able to sweep or anything like that. So if Molly does get on top, it is just kind of, hanging out there. She will win the rounds that way. So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that the line should be, I don't know if it should be minus 200, because when you look at McCann's wins in the UFC, even in her last fight with Velveeta, I mean, that girl, her record is more padded than Tyler's. I mean, she beats all girls that are 0-0, and she was, I mean, to me, I thought she outstruck Molly McCann on the feet in that fight. I mean,
hey, Santos beat an 0-10 girl, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad y'all said that. Win-loss record for Santos's full 16 fights, right? So let's go. We won't go through each of them, but the total 48-73 is the total for her, for all of her opponents.
But who is McCann beating in the UFC? She beat Velveeta, Lipsky, and Cachoeira.
That's one of the fighters.
Record. Right? They probably they're not. Are you kidding me? They probably got a 2-10 UFC record or something.
Dude, bro, Cachoeira would beat you up, bro. What are you talking about?
But what's Priscilla's record?
Cachoeira would beat all of us up. Let's be real.
Cachoeira's that zombie, bro. You better watch how you talk about old Princess Priscilla.
She's 1-3 though.
No, it's a valid point, man. It's absolutely a valid point. I just think I just don't see anything in Santos. You know what I mean? Meatball Molly, when she takes that step up, maybe we pump the brakes a little bit. I don't think she's a world beater, but I think this is a great spot for her.
Yeah.
And value's there. If it was minus 200, like you said, Clint, oh, man, you know what I mean? We're not at minus 200. Worst case scenario, minus 150, you can get a little bit lower. You could have got a little bit lower 30 minutes ago. You know what I mean? 45 minutes ago. But, yeah, I think there's value still there in Molly, still.
Nice. And boys, 488, 12 away from that. 500 done. You boys is showing out tonight.
Yeah, let's hit this 500 mark together.
Hey, let's hit it. Odds.com, baby. Y'all go to the website. Show all them boys some love. Odds HQ, no space in between. Tell a friend, tell a family member. We doing big things around here. So let's see. Hey, we're going to hit this third from the main. We got Jimmy Rivera coming in versus Cody Stamann. Young Nicholas, can you give me some odds, please, sir?
Absolutely. All right, so right now we got the comeback on Stamann, Stamann at plus 123 and the comeback on Jimmy Rivera at minus 132. Let me refresh that just in case because these lines are changing like crazy. But nope, that's what we got. Minus 132 here for Jimmy Rivera, plus 123 for Cody Stamann.
Priscilla Cachuera is in the chat, boys. Priscilla Cachuera is calling out Guru.
There she is.
In the chat.
She's coming for you, boy.
Oh man!
I see your purple belt, and I'm gonna whoop your ass, boy.
Oh man!
Oh, that's amazing.
You said, if you call me catch a beating, call me catch a beating one more time.
All right, so Cody Stamann. It's not Cody Stamann, as some captains would like to call it. Cody Stamann, not Stamann. But yeah, plus 123, best case. Yeah, you might get it around plus 120 to plus 110, depending on your book.
Very nice.
You guys are
What
killing
you
me.
think about this, bro?
Yeah, man. I actually put a bet here on Cody Stamann on Jimmy Rivera by decision. I'm sorry. And when I watched this fight, I like Cody Stamann, and obviously, he just went through that whole thing with his brother, which is terrible. And that's the thing that I'm thinking about here. You guys could tell me if you think I'm wrong, but it's like he did go and 10 days after he got that big win, he was able to, dedicate the win to his brother and all that. But don't you think after that, it's been 4 weeks later, wouldn't you think a grieving after that win where maybe he kind of let everything out after he won? And, who knows? I don't know. This is a fight that came about really soon. And Jimmy Rivera, I see a lot of people saying like he's washed up or, he doesn't want to fight anymore. But, man, I've been seeing him on Twitter calling people out, asking for fights, saying he's been training. And he looks good. And when you just watch the fight skills-wise, on the feet, Jimmy Rivera hits a lot harder. Cody Stamann, he's kind of a pillow-fisted type guy. And Jimmy Rivera's main issue is the chin. So I think that, he's not going to get dropped or hurt here by Cody Stamann on the feet. And I think he just has way better boxing. I think his low kicks are going to be a big factor. And I just think Jimmy is just better on the feet. He has a 95% takedown defense. So I don't see Stamann being able to take him down, anything like that. He's like a 5'4" guy. He's like a fire hydrant, man. So I don't know. I just think Jimmy's going to be able to outstrike him, win a decision. Jimmy hasn't finished anyone in the UFC. Cody Stamann hasn't finished anyone in the UFC. So, I think it's going to go to a decision, and I'm going to pick Jimmy plus 150. I think that's, a good line with someone that doesn't really have the power to make him worry too much. And I think Jimmy hits harder as the better boxing, and the leg kicks are going to add up. So I'm going to take Jimmy here.
So you mean minus 150, Guru?
Yeah, minus 150. Minus
okay,
150.
all right.
So I'll comment on that one. All right. So I lost my brother in 2016. And all that did was for my entire life. And to this day is light a fire on my ass to do the best I can in my life, no matter what. So to comment on that, if anything, it's helping him. Yeah, you grieve in your own way, though. You know what I mean? You do it on your own time. You hit pads in the gym if that's what he's doing. He's beating the shit out of he's doing what he's doing. He wouldn't take this fight if he didn't think he could win it. So I don't think that has so much relevance, but Jimmy Rivera is a beast. You know what I mean? Those leg kicks are serious. Literally, his leg kicks are real serious. He went 3 rounds with Kattar Yan, and he looked pretty good doing it. He did get dropped in the first, I think, at the end of the first or whatever, but he got right back up. Sat in the stool. He was good to go. So I'm leaning slightly here towards Rivera, and I think his odds are going to go up after this. Minus 150. Is that what we can get him at? Best case scenario, guys.
Yeah, the money line. Yeah. I think
I'm
so.
seeing minus 140 right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm seeing as low as minus 132 as well. So I'm liking Jimmy here. I think Cody's win streak comes to an end here. Cody's been looking great. He's improved his striking as we've seen. And his pace is impeccable. The pace he keeps is really, really good. But same with Jimmy Rivera. He can keep a pace for days. So I like Jimmy Rivera here. It's a slight lean, and I think I'm going to bet him as well.
Yeah, no, kind of with me, just real quick. When you watch some tape, if Rivera didn't have such great ass takedown defense, I would probably be on Stamann because I see this going to a decision either way. I just see Rivera having he's a lot more technical, and with that 95% takedown defense, I mean, Stamann's going to look for his strikes to set up the takedowns. And you go watch Rivera versus Aljo. I think Aljo's probably, if not as good, probably a little bit better of a wrestler than Stamann. And he went 0 for 14 on takedowns against Rivera. So Rivera's very, very, very damn near impossible to get taken down. My only thing is Stamann does put up a little bit more volume with his punches now. And with Rivera being a little bit more technical, he kind of picks and chooses his strikes. So if Stamann comes out and has a good round, and then, the second round is close, Rivera seems to have a hard time closing out a fight because he's so technical. And, he has the power hooks. I don't think Stamann's going to be in that range or he's going to get caught with one of those pot shots. But I think because of the takedown defense, I don't think he's going to be able to get him down. Jimmy's going to be able to do enough to win a decision. What you think about it, Clint?
First thing I want to say in the chat, a couple of people have been asking about the over on this one. I absolutely think this fight is going to decision. I don't think either of these guys are getting a finish. However, it's juiced to all hell. Yeah. So if you want to parlay it or something, go nuts. But I don't think it's going to be something that's worth playing. I kind of agree with the guys here. My initial lean right when I saw this thing was Cody Stamann. I was like, oh boy, I can get him as a dog. And I can never pick a Cody Stamann fight, whether I bet on him or bet against him. He's just that guy that I cannot get right. So I really was like, sweet, I can take advantage of this and go ahead and bet him. And then I dug into the tape, and Rivera's in that spot that I really, really like. And I can't go against him here. This is a fireball and popcorn fight for me, folks. I'm going to sit back, relax, and just watch it. That's right. Because I think Rivera gets it done. I really think Rivera is going to have the edge to get it done. He's been fighting the absolute elite of the division here, and he's been doing relatively well. He's come up short. But for Rivera, this is a step down, and this is another big step up for Stamann. I thought that he looked pretty good in his last fight against my boy Keller, but I don't know that that is going to be enough to beat a guy like Rivera, and people forget just how damn strong Rivera is. With Stamann not having that knockout power, he's not going to get the respect from Rivera on the feet, and then I don't think he's going to be able to use his grappling whatsoever. So, yeah, I think Rivera gets it done, but I also think this thing could be a split decision because we're going to have a guy that hits a little bit harder with a reach advantage against a guy that's got a little bit more volume these days. So it's going to be activity versus power, I feel like, and I don't really want to flip that coin.
Ooh, boys, 6 away, boys. Y'all feel it? Y'all feeling 500 tonight? That's how we rolling.
We're this close. 6 more people. And yes, Charlie, I will be drunk by the main card on a Wednesday. I took Thursday off from my day job to make sure.
Nice, guys. And speaking of that, we will be live. I personally got to work. After work, I'm going to come in. Nicholas is going to be running the show. I'm sure Guru's going to jump in. Clintus can jump in. I don't know who's all going to be here, but we will be live on odds covering the fights, live betting for tomorrow's card and Saturday's card. Your boy will definitely be here. All fight card for Saturday. We'll have a show come Friday. Are you going to bust another totals out Thursday, Clint?
Yes, sir. We got Total Madness coming out Thursday for the Saturday card. And then, as always, we both have our weigh-in shows that'll be coming out on Friday after these boys weigh in. We got tons of content and action coming to you from Odds HQ.
That's right. That's right. So make sure you press that subscribe button, son, so you never miss any type of broadcast. Hey, and we're co-main event, and we're definitely going to give more shout-outs at the end. Take a little pause in the calls to give the man, the new kid on the block. Oh. Hey, do y'all remember that song?
Yeah,
Clint, I know you do. The right stuff. Clint, boy, hey, you got NSYNC Backstreet Boys written all over you. The new kid down there, Guru's got a lot of stuff going. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Clint,
you want to hear about I got NSYNC Backstreet Boys. One of these days I'll dig up a picture, bro. This head didn't used to be bald. I had the frosted tips and everything. I was a Backstreet Boy. I could have fit right in the picture.
He was like, "What's up? My name's Lance Bass. What's up, yo?"
I saw that Twitter picture you posted up with the I think it was what was the shirt? Was it? It was it was an MMA shirt, and you had the
Affliction. Yeah.
Yep. I had every Tap Out and Affliction shirt in the book. I had the backwards cap with the frosted tips poking out the front. Like, your boy was a hardcore bro, Backstreet Boy.
Hey, Guru, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC used to be a boy band back in the day.
Nah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, no, shout out to Guru. He's got a lot of stuff. Guru, hey, how about you tell everybody where everybody can find all your content, bro?
Yeah, man. Just on my channel, MMA Prediction Guru. Just make sure to subscribe. We're almost to 9,000 subs, which is awesome, man. I mean, almost to 10,000 for the year, which would be, that's the goal. That'll be real cool. I got some other stuff. Like, if you want to look, I have a few articles at MMAoddsbreakers.com, things like that, if you want to check that out. And, I'm always going to be here on Odds Tuesday and Friday for the live shows. I'll hop in here every now and then as well. So, yeah, you're going to be hearing from me. And, it's awesome to have everyone's support. Almost 500 people in here. That's pretty crazy. So, yeah, man, let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. And on that note, let's hit that co-main event of the evening. We got Tim Elliott versus Ryan. Some people call him Benoit, but I call him Benoit. Hey, nigga, you want to drop me some odds on that?
Yes, sir. We got Ryan Benoit at plus 113. Best case scenario. It's right around even odds for most books. And then you have to come back at minus 120. Best case, minus 130 on most books.
Nice. And before we answer that, Clint, Just Bleed, our homie has a question for you.
Do I know the choreography?
Oh. Can you hit us with a little
baby?
That's the only one I got, Mo. I tell you, you rewind that clock back to the high school days, and I could bust a few out for you, but not anymore. Your boy break a hip doing that these days.
Our boy Kevin Reed on the horse racing and Jimmy's horse racing show. He loves this thing. I wish he was here right now. He'd be singing a jingling right now.
Shout out to Kevin Reed.
Yeah.
Shout out. And shout out to each and every one of y'all in the chat. I'll roll through them names, but there's 463 of y'all bad boys in there. Y'all
scrolling by quick, right?
That is real quick. Hey, this co-main event clinches. How about you pop us off on this one, bro?
Yeah, man, this is a spot that I love. I absolutely love this spot. I've got a bet on this one. So Tim Elliott 1-4 in his last 5. Dude is on a skid. Can't seem to get his life together at this point. Seems to run out of gas. He scrambles. He's got incredible wrestling and scrambling ability, but whenever he fights somebody with decent submissions, he just gets caught. And then you've got Ryan Benoit on the other side of this thing, who alternates wins and losses. He's been 50-50 basically ever since he got into the UFC, and he's coming off of a loss. So, logic would dictate that he's going to win here on this one just because that's how his career has gone. But the problem for me here is that Benoit seems to really struggle in the grappling department. If you can get this guy down, you can cause him serious problems. He's got a big left kick. He's got a big left hook. But I really think at this point, he's basically KO or bust. If he doesn't hurt you hard, hurt you early with those big shots, he's in for a long night. And I don't know if he'll be able to get it to the judges' scorecards. Tim Elliott has uprooted himself. He's moved back home. He's back with James Krause. He's back with his normal family, his home gym that got him to the UFC. And I think that's going to do wonders for his mental state. From what I understand, he was living in Vegas. He was living that party life. He wasn't exactly focused in, dialed in on his training. Now he's back where he needs to be. And I saw an energy from him in the interviews that he did with my boy James Lynch. And then at the weigh-ins, he seems way more focused, way more locked in than he's ever been. I think this is a perfect buy low spot on Tim Elliott. He's fighting for his job here, boys. If he loses this one, he's getting that boot. And he's facing a guy in Benoit who he towers over. He is way bigger than Ryan is. And we saw him get hit with everything but the kitchen sink in his last fight against Askar Askarov. Elliott's a zombie. You can't put this guy down. So I think he's going to take a couple of those big shots from Ryan. I think he'll close the distance, force this thing into grappling, and then just mat return the dude until Ryan either gets tired and gives up a submission or he just grinds him out for the full 15. I'm on Tim Elliott here. I really like it. I'm surprised the longer the week goes, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I don't think Ryan is really everything that we thought he would be. He first stepped on the scene and knocked out Sergio Pettis, and everyone went nuts thinking he was going to be the next big thing, and he just never put it together since then. So I'm on Elliott here.
Okay.
Nice. What you thinking?
With Benoit, I mean, he's definitely the better striker here. We all know that. He's got some devastating body kicks right to the belly.
All from the left side.
Yeah.
All from the left side.
Yep.
Very predictable.
Exactly. You're right. But if he does land that, it's going to drop. It's going to drop Elliott. But
I don't think it will, man. Did you see the shots Askarov was hitting him with in the third round after a scramble fest? Like, he doesn't go down, man. Elliott does not cave.
Yeah, but the gut's a gut. You lose, you win. You lose, you win. But I hear you. He's a southpaw that slips, that short overhand left, right. Very, very sneaky right down the center. But on the other hand, we all know what Elliott's going to do here. He's going to come grapple heavy here, and we all know this. So I think that, just like Clint's thinking right now, he's going to end up getting his back somehow, getting him to the cage, somehow taking his back. We all know who's a better scrambler here when it comes to the scrambles. So if Elliott can just implement his grappling and his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu, it's his fight to win. If he doesn't, it's his fight to lose. So it's very easy breakdown. For me, it's Elliott here, and I'm tagging along. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on Elliott too right here. I just kind of think that where Elliott finds himself in trouble is when he starts scrambling with people that can sub him.
Exactly.
If he scrambles with people that can sub him, he's probably going to get subbed because he's probably going to get tired, and then he quits easy. But Benoit's probably not going to come out and be a threat when Elliott's on top. Even if he's tired, he might scramble and get up and throw some left hooks and some left body kicks. And he has power to where, he could finish Elliott. But I just ultimately think that Elliott might be a little bit more conservative with his cardio this time around. And instead of shooting 45 takedowns in the first, he might only shoot 23 and get him and ride out top control. He'll probably, maybe he might be able to sneak up a little sneaky submission, but he'll probably end up winning the decision.
How is the co-main event, real quick? How is this the co-main event?
How is the Jimmy Rivera Cody Stamann not the co-main? I don't
understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, man.
That's a weird move.
Guru, bless us with your breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sickening, right, that I'm about to say this, but I'm thinking about putting a bet on Tim Elliott like Clint did. Oh my God, I don't even like saying that when I'm in my head. But I mean, just watching the fight, it's like, or watching their fights. I mean, I do think Elliott gassed out really fast in his last fight, but like Clint was saying, he went back to Kansas City now, and he went back to training over there full time, where he's going in every day working, and I don't think he according to what some people told me, I mean, he went to the gym only 2 or 3 times when he was going to fight Brandon Royval. Like, he wasn't doing much training at all whatsoever. So, I mean, I could definitely see his cardio being a lot better here. And Ryan Benoit's cardio is not good either. I mean, Ryan Benoit gasses out in fights. When you watch that fight with Healy Alating in the third round, Alating was taking him down at will, and Benoit got tired and just started accepting bottom position. He was just laying flat on his back. And I mean, against a guy like Elliott, I mean, I think unless he could stuff the takedowns, which I don't see him doing, he's going to lose, because I think Elliott will be able to just control him on top or get to a dominant position, just like submit him. I mean, I think that Benoit's been submitted 2 times in the UFC. I could see him getting submitted again. And I'm going to pick Tim Elliott. I mean, I just don't – Ryan Benoit isn't that good, man. I mean, he beat Sergio Pettis, but other than that, I mean, his wins are – like really nobody. And even like that Freddie Serrano guy, that he's like a Olympian, the Cuban Olympian wrestler, but had like 0 striking. I think he was like 3-0. That was a split decision, and he was getting taken down a lot in that fight. So I don't know. I got to go with Tim Elliott here, which it's kind of painful to say, but I'm going to pick Tim Elliott.
By submission, you get plus 450, just about 445 by submission. That's kind of.
I think that's live. I think that prop is extremely live.
And
I'm also going to be looking at round 3 in this one. I think if Ryan gasses out and Tim is on point like we talked about, I think there's an opportunity for a late finish here.
Maybe a sprinkle on both, 3rd round and submission. Yeah.
Very nice, boys. Now let's hit up this main event. We got Calvin Kattar versus Mr. E. Gay. Mr. Boston Nick, drop me some odds, please, sir.
Right now, we got Mr. Kattar, excuse me. At minus 300, best case scenario, I would say average around the 315, 320 range. And then the comeback on Ige, best case scenario, plus 275, around the 250 range.
Nice. So before we dig into this, Guru, Sean Tuma has a question for you. Do you remember who he's talking about? Says Guru, do you remember that huge underdog you picked that won on Dana White Contender Series last season? I think he's trying to get
800. I think I know what you're talking about. A lot of underdogs.
Sure. I know. I got a lot. Last year for the Dana White Contender Series, I was like, went on like a huge run on that. I did really good.
Guru was all over it last time.
So,
if you boys out there, hey, Odd Squad, if that might be something y'all would be interested in, is us covering some Dana White Contender Series if and when it starts back. Let us know, and maybe we can move the Tuesday show to a Thursday or move it to another day to fit to where, hey, because that's what we're about is betting, live betting. We want every chance we can get to make money, but it's up to y'all. So y'all let us know in the comments, in the chat, what y'all are looking for.
I'm thinking maybe it was the guy that beat Alton Cunningham, Tony Johnson. Maybe. So I'm thinking maybe that's who, because he was like plus 500. But yeah, I mean, we hit a lot of underdogs on Dana White Contender Series. I mean, it's, a lot of underdogs hit on that. I know like the Castro was like plus 1,000 on that show.
Yep. Last year was 75 or it was either 70 or so. I have to do the math again. 70 or 75% underdogs won on that season. Year before that, it was a lot less than that. It was like 50-50. But that's crazy. And you're hitting like 5, plus 4, plus $600, underdogs. So I think Contender Series is a huge platform to take advantage of and hit dogs.
All right, so we might have to talk to Boss Lady about that. But Clintus Maximus, how about you start us out on this main event, brother?
This one is one that my hands are tied, people. My hands are tied because I made a parlay, UFC 251, Kamaru Usman and Calvin Kattar. I made that bet a long time ago. It's a two-banger. I put 2.5 units to win, 2 units on that. We've got the first half. The first leg is already in with Usman cashing in a big way. And now all I need is Calvin Kattar to get it done. My prediction is Calvin Kattar by knockout. I think he's going to do it round 4. I'm going to go back to the well the same way I called Peter Yan, and I think he gets it done inside the distance. My angle here is that first off, the size difference is wild. He looks like he's a different weight class from Dan Ige. I know Ige is slick on the mat. I know this line is too wide, but I also have to take into account the damage he took in the Barboza fight. He got dropped twice. That was a 3-round war, and I know that round 1 was tough for Calvin Kattar, but he didn't take an absolute ton of damage, and then he put the lights out on Jeremy Stephens in the second round. Much, much better turnaround for Calvin Kattar than it is for Ige, and they fought right around the same time. I think it was about a week apart from one another, so they've got the same exact turnaround time, and I think Ige is going to have a much, much harder time recovering from that. On top of that, we all know Barboza sucks with the takedowns. We all know Barboza's Achilles heel is that grappling, and Ige was able to use that to squeak that win out. He won't be able to grapple Calvin Kattar. I do not see him getting a takedown against Kattar, and I think Cater's just going to pick him off from the outside. Ige likes to box. That's where Calvin Kattar really thrives, is in the boxing, and I just see him getting it done in round 3, 4, or 5, so I will be sprinkling.
That was my question, Clint. So you said around 4, so would you just put yourself in a box just round 4, or are you going to sprinkle 3, 4, and 5?
No, sir. So anytime I do this, especially on the 5-rounders, the main events, I love doing this, is I will do 3, 4, and 5. You know, whether you do
I
like
myself last week. So before you even said that, we were talking, boom, I placed a little bet on Yan round 4, and now in hindsight, I should have bet 4 and 5. I had a feeling it was going to be a late stoppage. Didn't know if it was 4 or 5. You nailed it on the 5. So
I want to see the diehards that are hanging out in the chat right now. I want to see cash it if you hit that round 5 Yan prop with me, because we cashed a ton of those tickets, ranging from plus 1,200 to plus 2,000. Wow. The diehards were absolutely crushing, and we got our money back with Yan by KO in round 5. So I will be doing the same thing with Calvin Kattar here. This is another spot where I don't have Calvin Kattar by knockout as an official bet. I have bet it personally, but I got an egregious line. It's at even money right now, or minus 105, something like that. Y'all aren't going to believe this. I snagged it 2 weeks ago at plus 250. Calvin Kattar by knockout at plus 250. So I can't go making that an official pick because the line doesn't exist anymore. There's no way I can give that out. But I will definitely be sprinkling 3, 4, and 5 and look for that late finish. Ige's tough. He's durable. He'll be in this thing. We could get bit in the ass if he gets it done in round 2 like he did with Jeremy Stephens, but I'm definitely going to be thinking it's 3, 4, or 5.
So would you lock Kattar in at by KO, Clint?
By KO, I got plus 250, buddy.
Minus 105 right now.
It's minus 105 now.
Like over here is minus 120, yep.
Like I said, that was like 2 weeks ago, right when the line dropped. And I got to tell you, the guy that I use, the prop bets always have extra juice on them until they get smashed. So I knew that one was wide. I hit it immediately, even though I was planning on parlaying him with Usman. And now I've kind of doubled up. So if Ige wins, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it, Nick?
Listen, I love Ige's fighting style. I mean, he comes and he brings it. And I just feel like, though, the UFC is gifting Kattar here a favorable matchup. I really do. I just believe that Kattar is better everywhere except for maybe the BJJ department in a certain aspect. But other than that, I believe that Kattar just gets it done here in all fashions. I mean, Ige arguably lost his last fight against Barboza. I had Ige. I had him winning it, but I know a lot of people had Barboza winning it. It could have went either way, as we all probably can agree with. The line here, though, is about 75 cents. Off, I think. I think it's a little bit off. I don't think he should be quite that high. But that being said, I'm over Kattar like white on rice.
Nice. Yeah, no, kind of same here with me. I like how Kattar fights. He's real good at boxer, probably one of your better boxers in the division. Real long, nice 3-2, just nice heavy shots. He hits people at the very end of his shots to get that max power out of it. I think he'll be able to stop the takedowns, fight at his range, and finish him later in the fight. Gubri, what you thinking?
Yeah, I got Kattar, but I'll talk about Ige a little bit since you guys kind of broke down Kattar. And, I do think Ige has some paths to victory. I do like his boxing and his counters, and he actually is pretty good at, seeing the straight shots come and slipping the straight shots and coming over the top with hooks, with counters. And, he could potentially cause issues to Kattar if he could force him to go backwards the whole fight, because we have seen Calvin Kattar struggle with forward pressure in certain fights, against Jeremy Stephens. When he fought Shane Burgos, he struggled with his forward pressure a little bit. He struggled with the forward pressure with Moicano. But, I just think that he's clearly the better fighter here than Ige. Ige is just a guy that just stays so consistent, man. He can just go through the fire, stay right in your face. He's never going to waver, and just super tough guy. And I think that early on, it's going to be real competitive, because I think Ige is a guy that he's a guy that gives 100% in there. He's going to literally be fighting for his life in there. And I think he's going to be pressing hard, really trying to force Calvin to try to fight off the back foot. And I think he's going to have some success. I've never really seen Calvin get tested with very many takedowns either. I mean, Fishgold took him down very briefly, but other than that, he's been fighting a lot of strikers. I mean, and Ige is going to test that. So if he does get Kattar down on the ground and he gets on top of him, I mean, we haven't really seen what Kattar does off of his back if Ige is going to be able to exploit him on the ground. I mean, it's a possibility, but like they're saying too, Ige took a lot of damage in his last fight, so he is coming back real quick here. And, I mean, I think Kattar is the better fighter. He should get the win, but I do like Ige. I think he, could potentially get the win. If it goes to a decision, I mean, it's in the Middle East. Dan Ige, his clients with Ali, and he could get a weird decision win if it goes to a decision. But
Volkanovski win.
Yeah, I mean, with whatever you want to call it, but a weird type win I could see him getting, but I don't know. I mean, I think Kattar will probably be able to get him out of there. But it's a good fight. I definitely think Ige is live at that line. I mean, I think that line is pretty crazy. Just the money line. I mean, I think maybe you could put Kattar like minus 200, minus 225-ish, but not minus 330 or wherever he's at right now. But
1,000% agree on that, Guru. I think the line's about 70%, 70 cents off or so.
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm going to go ahead and back
KCOH.
Guru up on that one. If you're talking value hunting, if you're just looking to play the right number, then yeah, Ige is not getting enough respect here. That line is a decent bit too wide. However, like I said, I got the parlay, so I'm simply looking to cash a winner at this point, and I think Kattar is the guy that gets it done.
What'd you get Kattar at for your parlay?
I want to say he was minus 270. I got the bad line on Usman, but it went like this. Usman was like minus 310, and Kattar was like minus 270, and it did this thing. So, you know, even if you had locked in a little later and got a better line on Usman, it was the same parlay because Kattar had gotten bet up to minus 300 by that point.
Yep, same difference. I hear you.
Nice. Shout out to KCOH. For the people that don't know, he just won a nice little tourney for Mr. A's channel. So it was like a contest between 25 MMA YouTube predictors. He came in first place. Your boy came in third place. So, hey, at least I hit the podium. But my man KCOH.
I got to, man, where was I? I had to be on bottom, right? Did I come last place? I think I came last place.
I think you came absolutely.
Yeah, I think you were dead last.
Dead last, Clint.
So it's so funny, man. I got so much heat on my channel for that shit. And I got to tell you guys, it's because if I'm betting on a fight, those are the predictions that matter to me. I am putting my money where my mouth is. If it's not a fight that I feel confident enough to bet, my pick is wishy-washy. Like, I'm not really sure. So I got roasted on my channel for coming last in that
on
thing.
on the fights that you're betting and other ones you're not as focused on. It's different. It's picks.
Exactly. It's a different ball game.
That's funny. That's funny stuff. But, yeah, no, he wants to know some round props. So let's look. Ige first round plus 1125.
Well, I think he's saying that for them to win the round, but I don't know where you get those props at though. Like who wins each round.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I have
I wouldn't even bother betting
but yeah. So like for instance, are you looking at you want the numbers, or are you just looking for the books? I'll tell you that later.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can get those odds on like maybe a book or something. I don't know. I never seen it before though.
Both mine, I can. Yep.
Oh, you can get it. Like Ige wins round one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, very nice, boys. Hey, we hit that card up. So in memory of Jimmy the Bag, let's go ahead and throw we won't go main card best bets. We've been rolling an hour 45. Let's just go kind of best bet overall. Like, so what you boys thinking as far as best bet overall? We'll let Clint
I went last time.
Well,
Nick wants to steal my thunder again. Nick wants to take my pick.
Molly McCann.
Damn you. You son of a bitch.
hey, and then I'm going to do one better. I second him. Molly McCann is mine too. Hey, Guru, you want to go next?
That's the nail in the coffin. I can't triple on it.
We can though because we're confident. That's what Jimmy said. Listen, you guys are confident in bet.
Yeah, hey, Molly's going to win. What you thinking, Guru? On the whole entire card, best bet.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a parlay with.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
I'll say. Oh, it's just one play.
I mean, we can do whatever. I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say do the Lirizis fight to or I'll just do this as the play then. I'll just say for the Aziz versus Hassan fight not to start round 2. So that would be for it not to start round 2, it's plus 125 right now on here on my whatever I'm looking at.
Are we gonna do $1,000 if you had $1,000?
Always, man. We got to do that.
Yeah, that's going to be the closer. Clintus, best bet.
Well, the best bet for me is going to be Calvin Kattar by knockout.
Ooh, okay.
I legit think that happens. That's the way that I'm going to go. I'm also very strong on Molly McCann, as you all can tell.
Yep. You're going to get minus 105.
The ball that he does like. Very nice, boys. So just like Mr. Nick said, we like to bust out that $1,000 challenge. If you had $1,000 to put on anything on the card, it can be plus money, it could be dog money, it could be a parlay, whatever it is you want to. You got 1,000 smackers. Nick, you want to go first on this one?
Molly McCann.
Molly McCann.
Once
We'll
again,
let Clintus go next. Clintus, what you thinking?
So here's the thing. If you've got $1,000 and you're looking to make a return on that bad boy, I would parlay Kazmat Chimaev and Calvin Kattar.
Ooh, nice.
You're not going to quite get even money on that because they're both minus 300s, but you're going to get a decent return on that $1,000. If I had $1,000, that's where I'd be looking to put it this week.
nice.
Very nice. Guru, what you thinking, brother?
I'm going to give the same play I gave earlier. Chimaev round 1 finish. So that'd be plus 100.
Okay.
Even money on $1,000, that don't sound half bad.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going with Guru on that one, too. I mean, I think he's the biggest lock on the card. I think Molly's going to win, but I think skill set and how it's matched up, like what John Phillips is good at and what Chia Pet, whatever my cat, whatever my dude's name is. Him. I think that he's going to finish for sure first round. So, boom, that is that, gentleman. Hey, and Clint, just I didn't ask you about any totals on this whole thing for a reason, because I know you got a total show. But we got 457 people in here that like to make a little bit of money. So with you being the total master, if you're going to throw one total out on this card, and you ain't got to throw your best one, just throw us one. Give us a little something, Clint.
This card is very difficult for me for totals betting. I would have to say that the Phillips and Kazmat under 1.5 at minus 155 is probably the best total on the board, because if Phillips is going to come out and do anything in this fight, it's going to be a round 1 knockout. He will clip Kazmat and put him away. Otherwise, Kazmat is going to get him on the mat, choke him out, ground and pound him. I think that under the 1.5 probably has the best chance of cashing. I'm not a big fan of laying juice on the totals when I play them, but I really think that's probably your best path to victory there. I also think that there is a sneaky under 2.5 on Tim Elliott versus Ryan Benoit, plus 135. I think Tim Elliott's got a chance of submitting. I think Benoit has an opportunity for the knockout. If he's going to win, it's going to be by knockout. So I think that one might possibly squeeze its way under, and getting plus odds on that, I wouldn't mind rolling the dice there either.
I have one I'll throw out there. It's the main event, under 4.5 rounds at minus 140 in the main event, Kattar versus Ige.
Very nice, gentlemen. So, for the 450 people in the chat, for my man, Mr. Bosnick, that you can find him at Mr. Fat Fist on Twitter. You got my man, MMA Prediction Guru, where you can find his YouTube channel, MMA Prediction Guru, where he's pretty much the Logan Paul of this shit, guys. He's the only one of us with it's over 2 million now, isn't it?
Nah, almost 2 million.
Oh, my bad.
Almost.
Video that's almost 2 million views. We like to call him the Logan Paul of this shit, you know what I'm saying? And what's your Twitter, Guru? Because I know it's backwards.
Yeah, it's just prediction MMA.
Nice. Then you got the star of the Diehard MMA Podcast. You can find him at the Diehard MMA Podcast. And that's pretty much the same thing on YouTube as well, right, Clint?
Correct. The Diehard MMA Podcast on YouTube. If you search Diehard MMA Podcast pretty much anywhere, you'll find me on Instagram. I'm Diehard MMA Pod over on Twitter. I am on YouTube. And, of course, it lives on Odds HQ.
Ooh, I love it. And your boy.
You're going to find an Odds HQ as well. I mean,
that's how it is.
Twitter, but it's Odds HQ for life.
For life. Boom. And your boy Mo. You can find him at Mo Scream TV, Mo Scream 5P1 on Twitter, and Mo Scream MMA on IG. You can find odds.com at odds110 on Twitter. I think it's just odds.com on Insta, and right here on Odds HQ on YouTube. For all of us, we love you. We'll see you live tomorrow night. Look for all our content. Like, share, subscribe. We're out. Peace.